nothing could stop those Denmark fans from having an absolute blast. Welcome along to the Sporty Show. I am Sara and unfortunately for those fans, the stars did not align and Germany knocked Denmark out of the Euros. Klinton, would you dance in that rain? Would it be you?
No, I think if it was me, I would tell you the honest truth. I'm going to be suing the German government because every single black person that plays for Germany, fact is, this is what they've done in Africa. You know, there's a way we can bring down rain and thunderstorm and just by doing some traditional stuff.
It's the voodoo stuff?
Yeah, no, it's some voodoo stuff, yes. And if you notice, right, they were getting pressed, like Denmark, they were killing it. And then the rain started, we were seeing the thunder stuff. Everybody went to go and chill. They came back, boom, 2-0. Fam, I would go ask questions. They will cancel that game. We'll start again.
Yeah.
No, this is what I think. Facts. Like, come on, Alex, you're looking. Alex, you know, I know you're a British guy, but you know these things are real.
I was going to say, you're sure it's not just the bad weather in Northern Europe.
But the scenes were kind of incredible. I mean, like, there was thunder, there was hail, there was torrential rain. Like, I saw people that were at the stadium tweeting, I felt the thunder, like, shake the stadium. Like,
that thing was spiritual. You guys cannot tell me. Look at the way the light was coming out. Come on, Mao. I know we've not introduced both of them just yet. But Mao, you are from Nigeria. In fact, you know what happens. Do you say the truth? When you saw that lightning that yesterday, did you not think that was done by one of those footballers, the parents in Africa?
I don't know.
This guy. I think the reason he's giving this answer is he has applied for his permanent residency here. He just doesn't want to talk anyhow. No, I know that. I know. I've done it before. I know what you're trying to do. Well, I know what he's trying to do.
A good omen for you, Sara. The last time this happened, 2012, Ukraine-France, Spain went on and won the Euros. So who knows?
Right. Well, interesting that you...
history's not going... I mean,
interesting that you bring this up. Also, a really big shout-out to one of our producers, Juiz, because he won't let me wear it on the show because of the colors. So now I have to have my beautiful David Villa camiseta just around me today because obviously Spain are playing Georgia. Alex Ashmore is wearing his England bow tie. Obviously, the red is out, and we will get into those matches later on. But first... let's talk about what's coming up on today's show.
On today's edition of The Sporty Show, we first look back at all of yesterday's drama, including controversial VAR decisions and a huge upset. We then discuss England's upcoming game against Slovakia and whether Gareth Southgate can get his side back on track. Spain are also in action today against Georgia, as La Roja look to go through to the quarter-finals.
Yes, guys, and a friendly reminder to follow SportyTV on all of our socials and join us through our European journey, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. We are here every single match day. And a reminder as well that Sporty Live will be back tomorrow previewing the France and Belgium match. But enough of that. Let's talk about Italy. Alex Ashmore, because I know you and your English ways were sitting last night watching this match thinking, revenge is a dish best served cold.
If I said I didn't enjoy it, I would be lying. Is that, fair to say? No, I texted Camilla after the game last night and said, how are you doing? She said, okay, but feel like a bit emotionally wrecked.
Camilla.
Understandable. To be honest, I think it took everyone by surprise. I think Italy were poor. After 60 minutes, they kind of seemed to give up in a way. You know, I was expecting them to bounce back. Switzerland, will give them their credit. They were fantastic, from start to finish. And I saw someone talking about this. It almost, with the Switzerland side, feels a bit more like a club side rather than an international side. The way they're so tight-knit, they're together, they're a group. I think it's just brilliant to see them do so well. And I think they can go a little bit further. Who knows?
Let's talk about Italy, though, quickly. Oh, go. You have a message for Camilla?
No. I'm not going to speak. No. Sorry, relax. All right. No, I was literally, if we're still going to be on the Italy conversation, I was literally just going to mention something about Italy and
tell me
a few things we've mentioned here on the show, and I'm just happy that they are just a kind of materializing based on the fact that the prophet that's in me, I was able to see it in advance, and we are beginning to see it happen. I remember some of us here, we were saying that, including Mao, I remember him also saying in the group stages, somehow these teams, they don't wake up, and when they get into the round of 16, you will see what they are made of. Italy is out. Italy is
Good
out.
night.
Do you know?
Good night.
Do you know who's probably going to be next out?
Don't say it. Don't,
Okay,
don't,
all right,
don't,
all right,
Don't
all
even
right.
dare.
No,
We
but
will.
this is-
We
But this
will
is.
get
But
there.
this is. Right, we'll get there.
I think
We'll get there.
maybe it's harsh of me to say. Obviously, I love Italy in international tournaments. They're, part of the reason why you fall in love with football. Just the Italian football, the national team, the kits, everything. So it is sad to see them get knocked out. And they're obviously a big team, but I think more. I do like an underdog story, and it's brilliant to see Switzerland do so well.
Yeah, I have to, really quickly say, actually, both of us have to really quickly say
Go
that
on.
we have to eat our words. Because Klinton and I think it was match day 1, we were talking about, we did not give Switzerland their credit. I did not expect much from the Switzerland side, and I will gladly eat my words because that football I saw yesterday was one of the best performances I've seen in the tournament. As Alex mentioned, they were clinical. They looked like a team. They looked like in unison. But one thing you did say, Alex, is that, Italy didn't perform, yet they were kind of performing the group. Like they had arrived, but then they kind of fell off. Mal, in my opinion, I don't think Italy has played well at all this tournament yet. I think they maybe have gotten a little bit lucky.
No, they haven't, honestly.
Okay.
Because yesterday, Switzerland were more rugged. They just wanted it more, Italy were like, oh, yeah, it's Switzerland, we're just going to play. If we win, yeah. If we don't win, yeah. But it was a very poor performance from Italy yesterday, honestly. I was so disappointed.
I asked Camilla about this yesterday, the Italian attack. They had 11 shots, only one of them on target. You're getting to this stage of a major tournament, you can't go through, expect to go through when you have one shot on target in 90 minutes. It's just shocking.
You see, the fact about this tournament currently that people are failing to see from how I see it is the fact that a lot of these really popular countries that have done well in the past, for some reason, they have this, I don't know if I would say, it's more like the past glory still, I think the past glory is still deceiving. Is still working on them mentally, right? They feel like, yeah, we are Italy, we are Spain, we are Germany, we are England, right? We've done so well in the past, we're still going to go there and we're going to... And all these other teams that we tend to underestimate, what they've done is they have used that to their advantage. So they've said to themselves, actually, people think that we don't have any hope.
There's no pressure on them.
There's no pressure on them,
Italy
exactly.
had all the
And
pressure on
yes, absolutely. And what's now happened is they go into the pitch, play like people who have something to prove. Do you see? So they have that thing of, right, people think we're not going to make it, but let's use that as a drive. The ones who think are going to make it now feel relaxed because of the past glory of, we're definitely going to go into the game, and it's just Slovakia, it's just Slovenia, it's just this, it's just Switzerland. Like, who?
Can I also add to this? Because I agree with you, but I also think there's another element. Because I was thinking, why are all these major, the big teams, the big dogs that we always look at, the Italys, the Englands, France, why are they not performing? Is it also because that the amount of football that these players have played throughout the season, from the league, the cup, the Champions League, the Europa, any European competition, I'm looking at some of these players and I'm thinking, they're tired. They do not, and I'm not saying it's an excuse because I think this is what football is now, but it's not coincidental that at the same time, some of these smaller nations are doing better because they don't necessarily compete in as many tournaments.
No,
They do, because you have a lot of Swiss players who play in major tournaments.
I don't consider Swiss. I'm talking about
No,
Romania.
I'm not talking about their league. I
No, for
don't
me,
like
I'm even going to say that these people are yes. The popular guys are playing in more popular leagues and they go into the main competitions, right? These other ones, it's not like they don't have it. They do the ones that are just not popular.
There's just no spotlight.
Yeah,
But
there's
they're
just no
not
spotlight on them.
competing in Europe. You can't tell me some of these guys playing on the Romanian side are playing in like the Europa League.
Let me give you a typical example. You watch England being that awful for the last 3 games. You think that there is an element of the players might just be tired. No, for me,
I absolutely think so.
No, because okay, let's say players like Harry Kane, they play 34 games in the Bundesliga and then got knocked out of the Champions League, got knocked out of the Cup.
Got knocked out of the Champions League in the semi-finals.
Yeah,
that's like the distance.
he's
That's as
still
far as you can go.
Personally, I think if anybody was to give me any reasons as to why these players are not performing, take Jude Bellingham back to Real Madrid. There's never going to be anything like he's tired. Man is going to perform like Jude Bellingham.
He's the
Facts.
prime example for me. I look at Jude Bellingham and I think I was listening to or reading an article on how, we've seen him at Real Madrid. He makes those darting runs in the 94th minute. He's sprinting from one end of the pitch to the other. You do kind of see, and I do agree with you, Sara, I think these players, they're playing, league football, cup football, international football, friendlies, Nations League, Champions League. They're playing so much football. This is why, Gavi, he's suffered an injury. These young players, they're suffering injuries at an early age. And Bellingham, he's a fantastic player, and I'll back him until the cows come home. But you can definitely see there is an issue with he's played so much football this year, and he's only just turned 21. For a 21-year-old, your body's still developing, you're still growing. So to be playing that amount of football and to be expected to keep that same level, it is you can't. It's just it's unreasonable to think that. So it's only natural that you can see them flagging a little bit. And I think, Bellingham, he's still got the quality, but you can definitely see him maybe in those sort of, 85, 86 minutes. You can see him maybe not quite reaching the stamina levels that he was back in, say, February or March.
I just want to add really quick that I think this is also for the Copa America. I think this is for AFCON as well. I'm just saying we see so many more injuries too. We all know that there's way too much football being played. I'm just suggesting that it could also be a coincidence as well with the situation of these certain teams. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I would understand, right? If, say, for example, this is league football, where we know them to play literally, 3 games sometimes. If it's during the Champions League or Europa or whatever, they play probably like two games in a week. But listen, if we are going to blame it on maybe tiredness, what about the players who also play in and out, that are also performing well in this? I give an example. Somebody like Musiala, somebody like Lamine Yamal, sorry.
You've started to make me say it wrong now.
It's unbelievable.
No, but truth is, there are so many players who play, football back to back that you could still see in these Euros, that they are still playing to who. That even you mentioned the AFCON, right? Where we say, why is it that, I've asked this question so many times, why is it that African players, they come to their clubs, they perform so well, and then they come back to Africa, they go to play for example, the Nigerian Super Eagles, and we see the totally opposite stuff. If somebody will say to me, it's because they are just not used to themselves, and it's just because they are used to playing their league football with the same teammate week in, week out, I would understand.
Of course.
Right? But for me, if you're rubbish in your national team, yeah, I feel like you are rubbish. There's nothing like your type. Listen, I would not, personally, I'm not going to accept tiredness as an excuse for England to be playing.
Okay. Let's get to England.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up.
We are just brushing on it.
We are. Let me ask all of you guys. I want you to answer this question regarding Italy really quickly. Would you keep Spalletti as the manager for England after this tournament, Mal?
No.
Okay.
Too many experiments, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, watching Italy yesterday was frustrating. It was like they can't create, they can't score. It's like they don't know what they're doing on the pitch, just running around like headless chickens. They looked lethargic, they looked slow, they lacked creativity. It was annoying. Like we all know Italians, they are rugged in the defense, they are quick paced, they play fast, they create chances, counter-attack. But yesterday, it was the opposite. Yesterday, Switzerland came with the ruggedness. And Italy are out.
And that's it?
That's it.
Alex, Spalletti in or out?
To be honest, this is where football can be a brutal world. And, you lose a game. I know this is a really important game. You win it, you'll go through to the quarterfinals. You lose it, you're out. That's your tournament over. I think for me, I think you look at the options, the big one that's already come out, and this is how quick the football world works, is Massimiliano Allegri, who's just left Juventus. I feel like if that option is there, it'd be silly to turn it down. And I think, Spalletti's done a good job. But you see this since that 2021 final with Roberto Mancini. This Italy team has changed a little bit, and Mo said it himself, this tournament, they've obviously chopped and changed, and up front doesn't seem to be working. They're not the same Italy that the players they have, they should be performing a lot better. They should be beating teams, with all due respect, like Switzerland. And I think when you've got a manager with the pedigree like Massimiliano Allegri on the sidelines waiting for a job, I feel like it would be the right move to make, to go for Allegri.
Klinton, in or out?
It depends, really. And when I say it depends more like what's... sometimes you can't really blame the managers.
I'm not blaming them, just a question.
For me, I don't know. It's a very hard thing, or it's a very hard question, because for me, I don't really care whether Italy win or lose, right? If they continue losing, as far as it does not affect our spaghetti and the stuff we eat that come into the country, pasta. Like, that's all. I don't care about anything. If they want to sack their manager, sack their president, take away the Vatican from Rome, do whatever else, I don't care, right? That's their business. But at this point, if, say, I was in charge of the Italian team or their football federation back in Italy, and I'm looking at, okay, what's going to happen now? Like you said, there is somebody who people believe could probably do a better job. Why not? If I'm here shouting, Finidi George has to go, I'm going to put all these managers on the same WhatsApp group, then he also have to go.
I think you also have to take into account, and this shouldn't be how management groups make decisions, and obviously Italy will have these conversations. They'll analyse the pros and cons of keeping Spalletti and getting rid of Spalletti, but the fans in Italy are known for their passion. And we've seen examples of them coming home early from a World Cup or Euros, and to be met with fury. The World Cup. So I think when you look at the reaction from the fans, and also I feel like the problems that Italy have had at this Euros, I want to put more of the blame on Spalletti rather than the players. The players are good. I feel like they need someone to lead them in the right direction, to have a clear idea of what they want to do. We were talking about this yesterday with Camilla. El Shawari coming in. It's a late change.
I said this yesterday. I said
like a roll of the dice. Let's see what happens. So I feel like when you have the ability and the quality players there, you need someone to lead them. And I feel like Spalletti is probably not the man to do it anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I think from the selection of this 26-man squad, there were a lot of question marks around it. And yeah, like we spoke with Camila, I said El Shaarawy. Is it 2014? I think you need to start Retegui after the way he played against Croatia. That's just me. But as we say, arrivederci to the Azzurri, we will say willkommen die Mannschaft, because Germany are going on to the quarterfinals. And yes, there is controversy here. And now I am jumping on Klinton Codd's bandwagon, because he has been very open about the offsides that have been called, especially for one Romelu Lukaku. But the offside that was called against Denmark yesterday was a hair. It was a toenail. Oh. And I start to wonder about the calls made in this game, not because they were necessarily wrong. If this is the rule, then they're offside. But are we ruining the game? So as you can see from the graphic here, it's, is this really an advantage for the player? He is not far enough from the defender, in my opinion. Like, I just think it's becoming comical. And then what did we see after the offside goal was taken back? 30 seconds later, for an unintentional handball in the box of Denmark, they were given a penalty.
Listen, when I saw these things happen yesterday, when I see people like Ronaldinho coming to say, I understand it's a whole different context, right? But obviously, maybe he was doing all of that for clout chasing. I don't know what it is, right? But I'm not getting to that Ronaldinho level where I'm beginning to be tired of where football is going to. Why would you call that an... Like, why do you even have to go check VAR for that in the first place? Like, what is going on? And then when you look at that handball, it's becoming so cruel. It's becoming to make me feel like this game of football is probably going to lack the juice that is had from the past, from when we used to enjoy football. Yeah. These things going on currently, yeah? Now they score a goal. Do you know, even me as a viewer, do you know what comes to my head? It's like, I don't want to celebrate just yet. I want it to go to VAR first. Now, they've killed that initial happiness that comes in when a beautiful goal has just been scored. I understand there are situations where VAR must come in place. But in these kind of situations, though, come on.
I lean, and I feel like I might be being a bit too pedantic here, but...
I know what you're going to say, because you are a judge. You should be walking in a law court. It's not what... I know what he's going to tell... I know what he's going to say.
Rules are the rules.
Yes. That's what he's going to tell you. I would have done something, blah, blah, but the rule is the rule. Alex, just confirm what I'm about to say. Go on, just tell them.
So, do you want me to give you the bow tie?
Imagine. One day you'll have to. Maybe on the last day you'll wear a bow tie.
So, yeah, the rules are the rules, as Klinton said. there is, as you said, a hair in it. You know, there's a toe, maybe like an inch difference between the foot. I think there's two sides to it. You look at it plainly like that, it's offside. The rules say that is offside. The goal shouldn't stand. But I do very much agree with what the Denmark manager said, Schulman. How can you tell to a pinpoint that when the ball left the player's foot to send the ball over to the forward, how can you tell that that's exactly the position where his foot was? Like, you know, the ball gets played forward and obviously you pause play, but there's a fraction of difference between maybe the lace contacting the ball and it going forward, and maybe if you drag it back 2 frames, his foot's not putting him in an offside position. I feel like you can't be so exact, and when it's coming down to margins like that, I feel like the rule should be he's not gaining anything.
It's not advantageous.
He's not putting himself in a position where the defender's going, I'm not going to catch him now. He's miles ahead of me. This is where you've got to look at the rules and be sensible about it and say, I know you want to be exact, and we've seen it work in sports like cricket, where it does come down to those inches and those centimetres, but you've got to look at it from a sensible point of view and say that that is not giving him an advantage, and you've got to make the rules state it in a way that if the player is gaining an unfair advantage, like it used to be, it is offside. But in this case, I feel like the rules need to change.
Let's quickly jump to Denmark's manager, Kasper Højlund. Wow. Should I try that again?
That gives water. You know, sometimes there are some things you need to pronounce.
couldn't even
you
turn
either
it around.
need water or you need alcohol. You know, there are different stages, right?
Hjulmand, I'm so sorry. I really just lost all sense of speaking. Kasper Højlund.
Hjulmand.
It's not happening, guys. Let's see what Denmark's manager had to say after this match.
It was decided by 2 VAR decisions. I have the photo here. It was 1 centimeter. In terms of statistics and data, it doesn't make sense. This is not how we're supposed to be using VAR. It's 1 centimeter. And after a few minutes, there was a penalty. I'm so tired of the ridiculous handball rules. We cannot require our defenders to be running with the arms like this. It's not natural. Joachim was running normally. It's a normal situation. He jumped up and was hit from 1 meter. I rarely talk about these decisions, but it was very decisive for this game.
Well, what makes me feel better about that is that our producers also messed up Kasper Højlund's first name, so I don't feel as bad about it now. My apologies, Kasper. But Mao, I saw you nodding your head, and I completely agree with the handball decision that we also kind of talked about, in that after this, offside call was made, moments later, there was an unintentional handball. And he talks about, you can't run with your hands beside yourself. Also, are we not saying that the rule is, if it's unintentional, it shouldn't be called?
Yeah, but the thing with VAR is they just tend to check every single decision, and it's getting annoying and annoying. It slows the game down. Everyone doesn't want to play the game again because of VAR. Look, a centimeter offside. 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, a handball decision. Come on, man. Who wants to play? No one wants to play like this. I'm a neutral. I don't want to watch that. No one wants to watch it. Denmark, they were here to play football, and they really gave the Germans a run for their money. But then at the end of the day, you get decisions like this, and game over.
Yeah.
So for me, honestly, VAR it has ruined the game. It has ruined the joy of watching football, petty decisions, and all that. So honestly, it's a terrible decision to bring VAR into football. Honestly.
When we talk about that handball, I'm actually leaning more towards the side of the VAR and the refereeing officials. I do think, when you watch it so many times slowed down, it does look inconsequential. But I actually think if you watch it in normal time, the way it hits his hand, it does, I know it's very minimal, deflect off in a way that it could have changed the course of the ball. Who knows, if it didn't hit his hand, it would have gone straight across and someone could have got on the end of it. I know this is very...
The thing is, though, he was turning away from the ball, right? So when you think of physics in the sense of when something is going to spin, it's less your body, your arms are naturally going to come out. You saw him, I think that's the thing is that you're right, it could have changed the deflection of where the ball was going, but it was so unintentional. You could see that this is where it's becoming, like what Mal said. I think this could have been a game, that could have been one of the best matches to watch. I think we could have seen a real fight between both sides.
Thanks.
And because of 2 poor decisions in a matter of a minute, the whole game was flipped on its head.
I know it sounds harsh, but I think you talk about it being, he didn't mean to do it. It was accidental. I feel like players should know that by doing something on accident, that doesn't mean it's not going to be disallowed. So, if he accidentally puts his hand out and it strikes his hand, that doesn't mean that the referee's going to go, actually, no, you're right. I feel like players should know this. I know it feels harsh, but players should know to keep
it's your body. Sometimes when, you know what I mean when it comes to physics.
Help it, but I feel like the players should know this and try and take this into account as much as possible. I know these are, instant to instant, it will change. So I feel like with this one, can you blame Anderson? It's very hard to, but I feel like with these situations, the players should know that even if they don't do it on purpose, it will be given.
Can I add something to that, please? When you're in a game and you're in the heat of the moment, you don't expect me to just drop my hands behind my back while defending all the time.
No, I'm not saying, but
just
I'm saying the players should know that this
he should know, but come on, this is the Euros, this is the round of 16. I'm in the fight of my life here, and the ball is coming. I need to defend, I need to get it out. So when the ball is coming, I'm inclined to protect my body, first and foremost. So just turning around, and then the ball it was just like a little stuff, and then the next thing, a penalty. That's harsh.
You see, fact is, when I looked at that particular handball on the 18-yard box, I know you said that the way the ball had touched the arm, it could have made some difference. It could have changed the direction of where the ball was going to go to. Alex, I can tell you for free that what I saw there, that thing had no significance. Where the fragment of the part of the arm where the hands where it touched, bruh, listen, the ball, it didn't change any direction. Those are the kind of things that I would expect, the ref, VAR to say, okay, in this kind of case, we're not going to why would you change a whole course of the game because of the fact that the ball, listen, and we're talking about the natural position as well. I agree with Mal when he said, you can't, as a player, fighting to win and fight, in that kind of situation. The other day I was just walking out and my hands were like this. The first person that saw me thought I was, I just had a medication, or they felt like I was going mad, or, bro, are you okay? I've been arrested. Exactly. It doesn't feel normal. Now imagine having to use your 2 legs to want to defend something, but you now have to make your mental side say, you need to take your hand backward. There are some things that are just natural. And this is why I feel like the VAR, they continue ruining this our game. And it's going to get to a point where players are going to come against this. Now, what is happening currently is it's not really affected the kinds of players that, say, for example, if somebody like Vinicius was playing in the Euros now, and that decision went against him. Sarah, I'll tell you for free, probably going to put up something on social media. If it was Ronaldo, that, let's say, Portugal were on the losing side, and they scored a goal, and maybe, there was some arm, or maybe they had to cancel the goal because of that centimeters of... I'm sure Ronaldo was...
But it shouldn't be up to the players to come out and say this stuff. I think that's the thing. Yes, those players would come out. They're much more open on their socials talking about whether or not they agree with a decision. But I don't want to hear from the players when it should be on the ref and the rules of football to change. I think that's the biggest thing.
The players are going to be the ones to issue the hit, right?
We know that it was an issue. You look at socials already.
I'll give an example. What Vinicius was having to go through here in Madrid, with the whole racial stuff, You think it was left to him if he had kept quiet, trust me, they wouldn't have made any comments about it. It's only because he had to put up a heat and people had to back him up, and then they felt like, right, this is becoming a very huge
I do think
topic.
we're getting a bit taken, this is taken out of context now, because I think we're talking about a very serious issue when it comes to racism, and then I think we're talking about the rules of football. And I wouldn't compare the two, because one, to me, is the right of a human. The other one is a very poor rule in football that should be changed. Do you know what I mean?
You need to understand the context was the heat, like players having to speak out on different. I was not talking about like trying to compare the different situations.
Well, the one good thing before we move along to Alex's favorite team is that I think I can confidently say, Germany, you have not been tested yet, and I'm excited to see them play against a strong team with hopefully no poor calls, because I think Denmark really could have given them a run for their money, and I think because of the decisions, we've seen them kind of get away with it here. And I know in the group stage we also said this about Germany. Switzerland, who was their final match against?
Switzerland, and then, well, they had Switzerland the last game of the
Sorry, Denmark, all these red and white flags,
Denmark.
it's just going through. Yes, exactly. I mean, we saw Hungary and Scotland absolutely put up no fight. So I think the one takeaway here is that Germany, you have not been tested, and I'm very curious to see how you will fend against
Georgia.
I wouldn't.
Germany, Georgia.
I wouldn't say Denmark did not test them, though. They were clearly tested.
But up until that moment, and then once that situation happened, the whole game was turned upside down. I agree, but I think that happened too early. This game could have gone into extra time. Like, absolutely, with the way, you know what I'm saying? So they got away with it, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
All right, guys, we have to move along to today's matches. And, of course, it is the one and only Gareth Southgate's England are taking on the mighty Slovakia. Alex,
Wait, let me laugh at England in advance, wait.
The disrespect.
Can we
Actually,
clip
wait,
this? Let's clip this and play it the first thing tomorrow when England have won.
Alex, I would translate
When England has lost, this is going to be the first stuff we are going to play on the show, because
if you haven't also already seen it, on our SportyTV TikTok, Klinton was speaking about England yesterday and speaking about how they have been playing like rubbish, and this time they will not get away with it. So, on that note, Slovakia, England, Alex, talk to me. Concerns?
I am deeply concerned, and as much as I'm going to be confident and tell you guys I think we're going to win, I do think we're going to win. I do have my worries though. At this group stage for England, if you look at the run, say, since Southgate took over after the Euros in 2016, we look at the 2018 World Cup, the 2020 Euros, the 2022 World Cup, I feel like this has been our most lackluster performance at the group stage. We've struggled to really get going. We've had segments of 20, 30 minutes where we've played really well, and you see these moments where players like Cole Palmer and Anthony Gordon come on and it brings life into the game. But we talked about this earlier, we've been flat. I think the only real credit and the only real positive to come out of the group stage has been the defence. I couldn't fault the defence in any way. I think they've been fantastic. I think Trippier slotting in at left back in his an unnatural position. He's not a left-footed player. I think Kyle Walker's been excellent. I think John Stones and Mark Gahey in the centre-back positions have been unbelievable. And apart from that, you look into the midfield, it's been flat. Declan Rice is sitting too deep. Everyone's sitting too deep. The midfield, we make the change. We bring Conor Gallagher on, and I said this, he's a good player, but he's not the one that's going to bring that spark. He's not going to win you the games. Phil Foden, I know you'll have your grievances about this. He's a really good player. He's a fantastic player.
I think all English players are good players.
He's one of the best players in the world, Phil Foden.
Yeah, 100%.
And we've seen him do so well for City. And, he's playing out on the left, and he's just been isolated. He's been like a ghost. The same can be said about Harry Kane. Up top, he's had his moments again, but there's been no link between midfield and the attack. Bellingham probably has been the only, maybe along with Saka. I think Saka's probably been the best forward for England. 100%. Bellingham's trying his hardest. He's running himself ragged. He's worn out, and there's only so much you can do as one midfielder. So I look at this England attack and I really do worry. And I've talked to our producer Ben about this, about my 11 that I would go into this game with. There are so many players waiting to come onto that pitch. I haven't even got to the Jared Bowens of the squad. There are so many players that haven't got their chance yet that it would be unbelievable if they go through this whole Euros without getting a minute. Cole Palmer's played all of 4 minutes? Kobbie Mainoo, he's been excellent for Manchester United this season. He's been a revelation. He's played 15 minutes? And, you know, you look at players like Havertz. Yes, he wasn't good when he came on, but these players need their chances. And if it's not working, why are we sticking with the same starting 11 every time?
So what's your starting 11 then?
So...
Oh, look at the smile!
This is where it gets a little bit controversial, and I know I will
You
get
controversial?
A little bit.
I can't
Yes.
imagine it.
So if we could bring it up for everyone else to see. So I think, you know, I look at the back, I'm keeping it the same. I won't make any changes. I was a little bit worried yesterday when Trippier was a doubt. But that midfield, Adam Wharton, you know, was brilliant for Blackburn in the first half of the season. Signed for Crystal Palace, has gone from strength to strength. Kobbie Mainoo, excellent for Manchester United. I said he's been one of the young stars of the Premier League this season. Cole Palmer, he's been Chelsea's best player. Chelsea have had a very disappointing season, and Cole Palmer, he could get into quite a few of the top Premier League sides at the moment with his performances. Saka, I still feel like can improve, but he's been the best going forward. Anthony Gordon. We saw when he came on, Anthony Gordon and Cole Palmer, that was the 5 best minutes I've seen from England this whole tournament. There was life in it, there was energy, there was chances were created. We almost scored, you know, towards the end against Slovenia. Anthony Gordon, he makes those runs in behind. He's quick, he's a difficulty for defenders. I just feel like with the team that we keep going into this squad for, I know, to be honest, I think looking at what I've read and what I've listened to, the starting lineup will be the same as against Slovenia, but with Kobbie Mainoo coming in for Conor Gallagher. So it will be the same going forward. Either the personnel have got to change or the tactics have got to change because something's not working, and it's been shockingly disappointing so far.
So I'm just looking at your team now. You think there is no place for Jude Bellingham?
So this is a big point for me. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Jude Bellingham. I think he's a fantastic player, one of the best players in the world. But I've talked about this, and I feel like he is a little bit tired. And when he's been running himself ragged, working his socks off for this England side, I feel like just starting him on the bench for one game might just give him that breather just to, you know, if we're not doing well, bring him on after 60, 70 minutes. But I do feel like these players that we could put in, they could bring the life to the midfield and give Jude Bellingham that 60, 70 minutes rest, bring him on for 20 minutes, or even rest him for the whole game if we're winning. I feel like he's going to be so important going into the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and if we get to those latter stages of the tournament, if we continue to run him down and run him ragged and basically draw all the energy out of Bellingham, I feel like going into the latter stages, he could be even more tired and even more dwindled when we get to those latter stages. So I feel like, and I shouldn't overlook Slovakia, they're a good team, they beat Belgium, but I feel like the players that we can replace him with are good enough to win major competitions, and to give him that break, I feel like could be really beneficial heading into the latter stages of the tournament.
Okay, sorry, Ben, please could you put up the stuff on the screen again, because I want to just take it to Mao quickly. Mao, I mean, you look at that team, right? There's no, obviously, I've just mentioned Jude Bellingham, and who else would I have expected to be there? Yeah, so obviously I would expect Phil Foden to be there at some point. Now, Mao, you look at that team, what would you change there?
I'm happy to keep the team like this, and I'm happy Declan Rice is no longer here.
Okay, so that's like a personal beef stuff.
No,
That's a Man United fan, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not a personal beef stuff, but come on, player of Declan's quality, just side-to-side passes, no breaking of the lines, no moving the ball forward.
You know the funny thing, right, Mao,
Boring
right?
to watch Rice play, honestly.
I like what you said, it's boring to watch Rice.
You
to be honest, I think that Rice generally is boring, even to eat and stuff.
Wow, let's not ever do that.
No, right.
That's a staple in the Middle East. What?
No, wait.
Rice?
No, but see, I've been one of those that have felt like Declan Rice is just one of those that's been pushed by English media, right? To make him feel like he's some super... I mean, England, they're very good at that. They bring some random guy who, if he goes to Brazil, he's probably not going to get a second bench, right? He's probably going to help in the bringing balls that's gone out to throw in or stuff, right? But you come to England, they do one or two things, maybe do one crossing that somebody's able to head, and they feel like this guy's one of the best midfielders in the world or whatever, right? And that's what I feel like is happening with Declan Rice. Declan Rice, how much, you know, was his transfer, or how much did he cost to get him to Arsenal? It's probably, was he up to 100 million?
It was near to, yeah, with add-ons.
Yeah, but truthfully, is Declan Rice actually a £100 million player? Personally, I think he's more like a 40, 50 million pound.
I don't think you can deny Declan Rice's quality, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, as I think every pundit will with this England team. We've seen him play so well this season for Arsenal, but he's not playing as a 6. so far this tournament, he's been playing really deep. The whole England squad has. I saw a graphic when you compare the positions. It's exponential. I've said this before. We're playing so deep, and even in the first half, when we are attacking, we are a bit more forward-thinking. Declan Rice is sitting in front of that defence. When he plays for Arsenal, he's more of an 8. He's playing further forward, and when he plays further forward, he can link with the other midfielders. He can link to the attack, and I feel like I don't think Gareth Southgate is going to play him further forward. I can't deny his quality. He's a fantastic player. I think.
Alex, everyone is a fantastic player to you, apart from me. Since I'm the only person.
I've seen Declan Rice play.
What do you mean you've seen Declan Rice? Ali, you've heard testimonies about me, but you speak about one player. Oh, he's a
But I haven't seen you play.
Alex, these guys, a lot of the people you've mentioned, they are fantastic players. They are not fans. If I ask you about Jack Grealish, what would you say? You would be like, oh yeah, he's a fantastic player. He's the.
I do. They are all brilliant players.
But see, this Declan Rice, Jack Grealish, all these players, for me, they're average players. They are good. They are good. There's nothing exceptional, if you ask me. Do you see it? And I feel like I'm looking at that England squad right there. The only person I'm thinking is missing there, and I know if he's there, and he's playing in the right position, he will deliver proper. It's just Phil Foden, because he's a talent. Like, he's the kind of person that if he was born in Spain, he probably would be one of the craziest star boys here. Like, he would have the likes of, they would think he's probably going to take over from people like Cristiano Ronaldo.
I think the big thing for Phil Foden that sums it up for so far this tournament, he's had 3 passes to Jordan Pickford so far in the group stage, and 1 to Harry Kane. Wow. When you're playing on the left wing, that is just unbelievably negative.
Yeah, no, fact.
You're passing it 3 times more back to your goalkeeper compared to your striker. I don't understand it.
Yeah, but the thing with England is they're playing so deep.
Yeah, this is the thing.
There are no ball receivers. You can't connect the defense to the midfield to the attack. For example, Harry Kane, he always wants to play as a false 9. Then you're taking the space of like the cam, who is supposed to connect with the attacker. And then if Harry Kane drops down, if I'm Saka or Foden, I wouldn't want to run in behind because I have to keep the shape.
Yeah.
So I think Harry Kane needs to take a rest today and then bring in Ollie Watkins.
I would agree with that, you know.
Honestly.
No, I would agree with that.
I've watched all the games and it's always the same thing. Pickford hoofing it long.
Yep.
Okay, you have the guy who is playing deep, coming in, trying to take the ball. Let's say Rice. He needs the ball to his feet, but then Pickford is like, boom, let's just go long. There's no point skipping the ball. So with England, I think it's a tactical thing. It doesn't just come down to like the individuals.
Well, it hasn't worked yet. That's the thing.
This is where I would.
Yeah, it's not working.
I need to ask you guys, and we have to move along right after this, but Alex, I'll direct this to you. With England, what is the difference that you're confident that they're going to win today? What is going to be the difference maker here? Because they drew Slovenia, and now they're playing Slovakia with, a couple more players of a higher regard, and Skriniar and Hamsik, Duda, Dubrovka. Like, there's a few more, more known players on this team. Slovakia have had a decent tournament so far. They have been one of the underdogs. What is going to be the difference maker for England today? Why are we not going to see them lose?
I've got 2 answers. I've got a pundit answer and a fan answer.
No, I want the fan.
I told you. Alex should be in politics.
Alex
should be in politics. You're a proper politician.
No. I want it from here.
So
I want it from inside.
I'm going to start with the pundit answer, and I'm going to say I look at the way that we play. It hasn't been good enough. We have top quality players. I am a broken record, as Klinton said. I think we should be beating this Slovakia side. I think the big thing is they beat Belgium, but they kind of tipped off. They dropped off a little bit towards the end of the group stage. They only got 1 point from their second 2 games, from their 2 remaining games. They finished third. They just got in, and I feel like that coming into a knockout stage, when you want to be beating these big teams, you need that momentum. And when you're coming in off a draw and a loss, I don't feel like it's enough. Having said that, I feel like England's quality, it has to come good at some point. And when the knockout stages is there, we talk about the added pressure. The group stage, there is maybe that feeling, okay, we can do this. It's the group stage. We're going to top it. This is, as they say, ride or die. You lose, you're out. You're going home. So I feel like that, Gareth Southgate has to be, if he's not, instilling that into the players about how important it is to win on the night. My fan answer is why we're going to win, blind faith.
Nice. I love that. All right, let's jump to our predictions for this match and quickly see what we all think is going to happen. I know Alex is going for a win for England. What did you go?
2-0.
2-0. He's going for a confident 2-0 win. Our other English pundit, Alex Bagley, is going for a 2-1 win to England. The viewers are going 1-0. Gary has lost the plot here because he's going 3-1 England.
No.
But Klinton and I, and what hasn't been added to this graphic, but I'd like to just make it known, I'm going 2-1 to Slovakia. Extra time is where I think Slovakia will get the winner. Mal, please tell me what your prediction is for this game.
I'm scared of predictions now, honestly. Because after yesterday's prediction,
There is a right and a wrong answer.
Saying Italy getting battered like that, oof. I think England will take it.
Yes.
But
Barely.
barely.
Yeah.
So 1-0.
1-0.
Guys, listen, I want to go
Quickly.
straight. No, yeah, quickly I will say it, right? And I'll try to say it quickly. Yes, I just said the same thing twice. And you shouldn't have told me quickly. Now I feel like I now have
Klinton,
to...
you're wasting time. Let's go.
Right. You see, when I said 2-1 to Slovakia winning, right? It's going... In fact, they would score the 2 goals before the 70th minute. Right? England, they would chase, they would do everything to get that one. I mean, they probably would have had their one goal in the first half, right? But fact is, it's not going to go to extra time to tell you how easy it's going to be for Slovakia. And it's just going to confirm to you what I've been speaking about England if things do not change. Fact. Watch it happen. Alex, sorry. The reason I'm saying this is, I don't want to see you wear this red tie again.
Okay.
And England has to do it today.
Well, you're going to have to see this, though, come out a few more times because we are getting into the best team of the tournament. Spain is taking on Georgia later today after the England and Slovakia match. And guys, honestly, from what I saw from the Germany match, and let's see what happens with Georgia because they have put on a brilliant performance against Portugal in the final match day. Spain, to me, has actually been the best squad, I think. I think they faced some teams that have put on a bit more of a fight. I also think that they have put on better performances than Germany. Now, I'm going to say that, and let's see what happens tonight. Of course, it's all up in the air. Georgia are, for the first time, qualified out of the group. They have so much to fight for, and honestly, there's no pressure on them. They're so happy to be here, and it's brilliant to see them get this far. But Spain tonight, Georgia. What are you thinking? Obviously, we're going to see the starting lineup again. Let's see Nico, Morata, Lamine Yamal, Fabian Ruiz, Pedri, Rodri. It's going to be the boys back in action. Is there any way Spain loses this game?
Nah.
That's it.
But you know when you mentioned...
La Furia Roja.
You know, when you mentioned Lamine Yamal, you didn't have to increase the volume next to
No,
me.
it was also the look
And
towards
also
you.
looking at you.
You know what I mean, I just wanted
Put some
to...
respect
You
on
feel
this.
targeted.
No, I mean, well, exactly. The same way you always feel targeted when I mention England.
I mean, we obviously saw Spain rest their entire starting lineup. These
Yep.
guys have had a
Yep.
bit of a break, which is great for them. As Alex was talking about, maybe Jude Bellingham being tired. This could really work to Spain's advantage. And I think the thing is with Georgia is, as I mentioned, they've had such a brilliant tournament to come out of the group stage, and all eyes have been on them and what they've done. But I think this is where we will see now a little bit too much for them to handle.
You know, I still feel like Spain they've not been tested just yet, you know. I know
Not been tested enough, but maybe tested more than Germany in my comparison.
What's the toughest team you think Spain has faced?
The Italy game, because...
So now when we see what Italy, are you going to call Italy tough?
Are we going to talk about Scotland and the fact that they laid down, though?
No, I mean, but you know, Scotland shouldn't be in the
but
tournament.
my whole comparison was just between the matches that Spain have played and Germany. And Hungary and Scotland sat down against Germany.
Yeah, fact.
At least Italy was fighting a bit. Italy played better against Spain than they played against Switzerland, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think that's, and also we can't really judge the Albania game because their whole starting lineup was on the bench.
Well, let's just hope that Spain loses their game today. Simple. Let's not.
At the end of the day, I think with this Spain...
It's all very negative. I don't understand.
You see, I'm just pissed off for the fact that you came here with a jersey. Like, we came here like normal people. You wore one piece of clothing and you still have to show that. Listen, today, because of all these things you've done.
Why are you not directing that to a certain bow tie?
No, I mean, he's wearing his. Now,
I'm not allowed to because Juiz told me that the yellow was too yellow.
Yeah, but you didn't have to place it on the table.
Of course I have to. What are you talking about? Absolutely.
At the end of the day, with this Spain side, when we talk about have they been properly tested, I think Italy are a good side. They haven't proven it this competition. They were poor yesterday against Switzerland, but you can only play against the teams that you are put up against. I know this is the same case with Germany, but Germany struggled against Switzerland. They struggled in parts against Denmark. It wasn't a complete dominating performance. Spain, from start to finish, they've rarely had a 5 or 10 minute spell where they've looked like they were Italy was their toughest test, but they've always looked comfortable. They were brilliant against Croatia. Croatia, yes, have been poor and, I think let a lot of people down. Italy, in the group stage, they were strong and they were playing well. Albania, they caused a few upsets and they were surprising a few people. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Spain have proven it and they've been lethal against the opposition they have faced. And the big thing, the change for me, I see the Spain side. We know, when we think of Spain, we think of possession football, passing football. This has been the lowest average percentage possession since the 2002 World Cup. They've had more take-ons since the 96 Euros. I think that is the big thing for me, for the Spain side. They are playing to suit their players, and that's what every team should do. They've got Lamine Yamal on the wing, Nico Williams, these really quick, pacey players that when you go direct, I'm not talking about long balls, but you can direct passing, quick, interchanging between the defence, the midfield and the attack. Yep. Direct, and it works really well. And this Spain side have been fantastic.
I think that was the issue when Luis Enrique was in charge of Spain, because obviously after the Vicente del Bosque era, when Spain obviously won back-to-back, and with those players like Xavi, like Iniesta, like Sergio Busquets, those were the kind of players that tiki-taka was working for, right? They were playing it at Barcelona, they were also playing it at the national team. And Luis Enrique was like, let's try and recreate that. Like you're saying, with the players, it wasn't working. Now Luis de la Fuente has come in, and this is the difference I'm noticing with Germany and Spain as well. There's more of an identity with the Spanish team. And like you said, they've shown better football, and even though they might have not been tested fully, they're playing better football overall. They haven't been scored on. They're the only team that has won all 3 group stage games. What more can you ask from them? They didn't ask to play this team, and this was initially the group of death.
No, I mean, decent Albania side, their second team.
Banter side, I would. No, I mean, forget everything I've said. Fact is, Spain. They definitely are the best team in the Euros.
Well, except your apology.
No. I'm
still waiting for mine.
You will get nothing, Alex. Sorry, Alex. Today you will still cry. You will stop wearing these glasses. People will see your tears proper.
But I think now Spain are coming with much more intensity. It's now about that boring football. Keep that in the bin now. Let's play. Let's play proper football. Let's give it to the wingers. Let's attack these guys.
Calling the
Let's make them tired.
2010 tiki-taka boring football.
But then
let's get them.
First, before you start getting them, you want to also make sure that you have the right people to use in getting them.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I think Spain has. They have the best left, probably best left, best right. They have the most advanced midfield in terms of when you talk about experience. Like even the skill. Having somebody like Fabian Ruiz, in your team.
Pedri.
Like, come on, why should you not be winning? This is what I expect from England. But then again, they have just refused to turn up, right? Germany, the same thing we can say to them. Oh my God, we don't have time. Maybe we need to speak about a few things that happened in the Germany game yesterday. With some of the misses, but we'll come to that in the future.
Kai Havertz, he's talking about you.
I can't believe we didn't speak about this people. What about Leroy Sané? Oh my God.
No. All right, really quickly, guys. Spain and Georgia predictions. Go for it, Mo.
Spain, 2-0.
Me too.
3-0.
Let's go. Lamine Yamal gets on the scoreboard tonight against Georgia. Wait for it.
I think this one is probably going to be like a 3-0.
Perfect. All right. Really quickly, also, just from our Twitter, we asked the viewers if Jude Bellingham should start in the Euro round of 16 encounter against Slovakia. Alex said no. 56.3% of the viewers said yes. That's where we're standing right now. So let's see what happens tonight. Massive matches again. England taking on Slovakia. Spain taking on Georgia. Let's see tomorrow what the moods will be for Alex and I, because it could be a very glum day or it could be a very happy day. But again, guys, remember to follow us on all of our socials and join us tomorrow for Sporty Live as well, ahead of the France and Belgium match. Is there anything you really want to say quickly about Kai Havertz? Because I have two.
I just want to say, Kai Havertz, whatever juju or black magic they've done to Lukaku, fact is they've done the same thing to you. And I believe from what I've seen yesterday, bro, you need to come and apologize to somebody from where you come from. You might have some kind of black family in Africa that your great-grandparents have offended, and that's the reason why you cannot score easy goal that even my grandmom should be able to score on a good day. Havertz, there's something off. This, if nobody has told you, there's definitely something off. Please, go and rectify it. Thank you.
Even you could have scored that.
Fam, listen, somebody on a wheelchair will score some of the goals that Havertz cannot score.
No,
Oh no, that guy. There's something off. I've been complaining about Lukaku, right? I've been complaining about Nunes, but you see Havertz. His own is a different dimension. There's something off. It might be that there's a girl that's maybe making him think something different whenever he's in front of the goal. But we would find out.
Really quickly, because I know you have a lot to say about Kai Havertz.
Please just say one or two.
You
You've said a
yesterday
lot.
were saying Kai Havertz should be starting over Nicholas Füllkrug. I don't know, my friend.
But those misses though.
No. If Nicholas Füllkrug was playing, he would score them because he
facts.
scores goals.
100%.
Do you think he's gonna score them?
Oh my God.
No, I know. There's a
Anything
difference.
can happen in football. You can have an off day. You can have a good
He's
day.
having an off
What happened? Sorry. Are we? No. Kai Havertz.
I would die on the
One
heel
minute,
of-
one
No,
minute.
1 minute. But you see, listen. The way he got the ball, though, I'm going to give it to him. I think that was the most perfect thing I've seen Havertz do in his career as
Yeah.
a footballer.
So
I don't know how you saw. Did you see
Yeah.
what he did there?
Yeah.
I was like, wait. Is this Kai Havertz? And in my head, if he had scored that goal, trust me, this is something that will go down in his record in life playing football as one of the greatest goals he scored. Because when you take it back to how he got the ball, took it forward and scored, that would have been so amazing.
But Havertz has always had like a wonderful touch, even from his Leverkusen days. So Havertz has always been a
No,
brilliant
but that
player.
particular one yesterday,
But
that was magical, man.
It's just too bad he can't do anything with those wonderful touches he has. All right, guys, thank you for always joining us on this chaotic show, the Sporty Show. Like I said, we'll be back again tomorrow previewing those matches. Sporty Live will have the France and Belgium game. Enjoy Slovakia and England and enjoy, Spain and Georgia. And we'll be back again tomorrow.